Knock at the Cabin by M. Night Shyamalan. I'm Kent Brindley, South Haven local, Grand Valley State Laker, animation historian, music aficionado, video game player, action figure collector, author, creative writer, and movie reviewer. I'm here today to wear the hat of the movie reviewer. Just kidding. Alright, that was a bad joke. Almost as bad as Knock at the Cabin by Mr. M. Night Shyamalan. Not even a joke. Just bad. Alright. Knock at the Cabin by M. Night Shyamalan. So there's this group of 4 religious zealots who all believe that the end times are upon them, who begin targeting a nice, kindly gay couple and their adoptive kid. It's Hollywood. How else would anyone with any belief in a higher power be acting? It's a Hollywood movie. Anyway. The film starts with Drax. Dave Bautista. Making small talk with who has to be a 6-7-year-old girl while collecting butterflies. It's caterpillars. It's caterpillars. Initially, she's actually intelligent enough to understand that talking to strangers is a bad idea. He makes just enough small talk with her to break her down. Then his friends start arriving, including Ronald Weasley. Rupert Gint, right? Rupert Gint, yes. And 2 ladies who I don't recognize, except that one's a nurse, the other is a fry cook or something. And Bautista is supposed to be a teacher. I can never remember what role Rupert Gint played in the professional life, because by the time he meets everyone, he's just so out of his gourd that... Well, anywho, the young lady sees the rest of Bautista's friends come, and she knows she's messed up, and promptly runs to the cabin to inform her two dads that trouble's on the way. Trouble comes along and goes, to wit, they finally force their ways in. A fight ensues, causing a concussion for one of the dads, and the 3 people simply trying to spend a family getaway in a cabin end up chained up and having to listen to right-wing drivel about self-sacrifice or the end times coming. They perpetuate this arrival of the end times with poorly edited and poorly cropped news footage. one of the characters immediately believes as such. But oh no. These people had visions. It has to be true. Remember, this is still a Hollywood movie, and these are supposed to be, and these characters are supposed to be people of faith. Of course they're behaving this way. Barging into people's homes, chaining them up, and talking to them about sacrifice, not even self-sacrifice, because their whole spiel is that they have to sacrifice someone and it can't be themselves. Okay, I don't recall any conversation here where they can't simply sacrifice the people, choose one of the people who barged in on them, beat them up, and tied them to chairs. But apparently that's not acceptable either, because they won't sacrifice one of their own. Obviously, the family will not sacrifice one of their own members. They actually love each other. Well, this ends up with, I'm just going to call him Ron Weasley. The characters in this movie were so forgettable, I cannot remember his name for the life of me. Anyway, Rupert Gint, excuse me. This causes Rupert Gint's character to be the first to go, because they won't sacrifice, because the family, of course, won't sacrifice one of their own. Which leads to Batista's character turning on CNN at just the right moment, that they're talking about tidal waves rupturing a part of the world. Okay. Now another day passes, and of course the family won't sacrifice one of their own members. If self-sacrifice is out of the question, they won't do it to one of their other members. The fry cook has to go. Batista turns on the TV right on cue, and they're talking about the plague. Finally, one of the fathers... Wait a minute. Was Andrew or Eric? Which one? I think Eric had the concussion, and Andrew was the one who had been trained to use firearms after a past experience being harassed at a bar. So Daddy Andrew grabs a weapon out of his vehicle, and that he had all this time. He had a handgun back there if he could just get out of the cabin. Goes on a little rampage. He's the one who kills the doctor. Batista's... Okay, whatever. Dave Bautista's character turns on the TV again, and this time it's airplane crashes all over the world. Just devastating. It's extremely inexplicable. Despite the fact that he clearly knows what the newscaster is getting ready to say, because he says it right along with her. This is about the time that he begins to break the family down that this is not a hoax. Hello, he seems to know pretty well what the footage is getting ready to say. That would be a hoax. He seems to have this memorized. Anyway. The family tries to make their getaway by locking Dave Bautista's character in the bathroom, except he's Batista, so of course he can break out. I don't know. And one of the fathers tries to convince the father with the handgun to shoot him, thereby saving the human race and preserving the world for their daughter. Which spits in the face of the idea that self-sacrifice isn't acceptable, because this is one of the fathers telling the other father to sacrifice him. Well, okay, if the other father's the trigger man, then it is still sacrifice, I guess. I don't follow. Well, radicals and zealots are gone. The young lady is a member of a single-parent household now. They stop at a diner. They clearly get back in their car, but when they put the car in reverse, they are in one of their tormentors' trucks. I don't know. I don't get it. Anyway, so the good news about Knock at the Cabin is it's not exactly old or After Earth or The Village or Lady in the Water. The bad news about Knock at the Cabin is it isn't exactly Signs or The Sixth Sense either. Actually, M. Night Shyamalan did Unbreakable, Split, and Glass as well, and I did not realize that until just now. So credit where it's due. I forgot that he had made the Unbreakable trilogy. So how many popcorn buckets is Knock at the Cabin worth out of 5? I guess 2. Well, maybe 3. Yeah, I'll give it 3. I'm feeling generous. Okay. The point of the story. M. Night Shyamalan used to make supernatural and monster movies. Even Old had supernatural elements to it. Along come Knock at the Cabin. Memo to Hollywood. People with a belief in a higher power are not monsters. People with a belief in a power greater than themselves are not automatically monsters. Zealots and bigots are capable of monstrous behavior and should be called out on it. They're still human beings. And that was basically the whole premise of Knock at the Cabin, was that unless you were the gay couple with the young daughter to protect, you were the monster. Oh well. That's all. I'm Kent Brindley. Sometimes I review movies. I'm obviously doing the movie reviews a little differently for the month of February, wherein I'll review the movies on their own, and toward the end of the month, I'll rank them and rate them. We'll see how this goes. Thanks for joining me today.